everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of my Gengaku Picasso review. Now in the last review I've talked a bit about the manga, and I've told you about the first novel of the 3, and I'm not going to spoil many more others. The second book you'll have to read for yourself. It's rather funny to read, and well, I rather liked it, but you can also very easily skip on to the third part. Although some pieces won't make sense unless you read the second part as well. There's really one thing I'll say about the second part is, let's see in the index real quick. Hishida's Holy War. I really rather liked Hishida's Holy War chapter because it touches on a subject that isn't often touched in a positive way in manga and anime, namely cross-dressing. Now normally when you think about cross-dressing, and in particular the males, you think something like as shown in One Piece, really odd, not at all female looking type of cross-dressers. And while those are out there too, I have found personally that more often than not in anime and manga, they really stereotype the cross-dressing guy as just some really weird guy who happens to like wearing dresses and act all girly, and yeah, it doesn't really give the whole cross-dressing thing a good name per se, or yeah. So in the second novel of Gengaku Picasso, they really bring out the whole cross-dressing real subtle, and it's not about a guy wanting to be a girl just because he wants to be a girl or because he likes to wear dresses. It really shows just how deep it runs, and how people even now still seem to think that transvestites, which is what the crude term is for cross-dressing people, really are. Now, the thing is that even today, a lot of people still think that cross-dressing is something of a sickness of sorts, because girls want to be boys and boys want to be girls. It's not natural in our view, and Gengaku Picasso plays on that view, and it tells a tale of gotta look up his name real quick. Hishida. Doesn't seem to really say first name in here. I really ought to do this better. He's just mostly named Hishida. I'm going to skip ahead a bit to see if I can find what it is. Yosuke Hishida, that's his name, apparently. And Yosuke Hishida actually goes to school in normal boys' clothes, so we don't, at the first part of the story, know that he's actually wanting to be a girl. We find out because one of the girls followed him when he went to the bathroom Ishida usually goes to the bathroom during classes because he feels uncomfortable going into the boys' bathroom and being standing up, simply because he feels that he's in the wrong body, which is basically what we crudely name a transvestite is feeling. They are, for instance, a girl in a boy's body or a boy in a girl's body. And the manga Gengaku Picasso really touches on the realistic level on that, in that Hishida feels uncomfortable in a man's bathroom, and he wants so badly to be a girl that he keeps a school skirt and a bunch of makeup stuff in his bag, just to have some feel of comfort at the fact that he can't, and to show that often enough in society people perceive this gender confusion really as something really weird, and oftentimes I find that people also think that it's perverse or something. I really don't see it that way, but then I was raised pretty open-minded and taught to accept people as they are, and because of that I have a lot less trouble with a guy dressing up as a girl if that makes him feel happy, so long as I don't have to do it. I don't really care. But anyway, getting back on Hishida's story, Picasso draws this picture of Hishida's inner heart, and that being Hishida. As you can see, the picture shows pretty much what he's going through. It's really unusual, and at first I didn't quite get it, but as you read on, you learn that Sugiura from the other parts, who is now a friend of Picasso's, he finds out that he's also a friend with Hishida, and he follows Hishida when Hishida runs out of the class after the girls make fun of him and accuse him of having stolen the shirt and being perverted and having stolen the makeup, and that he stole some girl's diary of sorts. And at the riverside, is where Sugiura finds Hishida, and the two get talking. Now, while Hishida is running away, Picasso gets sucked into the artwork he drew, as per the series' usual storyline plot thing. And he finds and Picasso and Chiaki find out that Hishida, from as early on as he can remember, has always thought of himself as a little girl. While playing house, he always wanted to be the mother, and when he grew up, he wanted to be his father's bride, in the phase where all toddlers want to marry their papa because he is the best. And all very childlike and innocent. And then, as he goes to elementary school, he begins to realize that girls are different, and he begins to feel frustrated because the girls get to wear such cute clothing and he can't, and he doesn't understand it. We later see where he is in middle school that his father and mother find out, and that they've suspected it for a longer while and looked it up, and they are treating it like a disease. They are saying that he has a disease. Peek real quick. We read that when he was in middle school also he went out in girls' clothing, and he for the first time felt right. Then his parents confront him, and his mother is obviously sobbing, and his father tells him that he saw a girl in town, and that he found out that it was his son dressed up as a girl, and he thought he was mistaken when he earlier found girls' clothes in the bathroom. He then explains that he thought that something was wrong since the boy was very little, and he looked it up and he found that he has a sickness called gender identity disorder. And this is really what Hishida struggles with most of his life, that people think that he has some kind of sickness, whereas he feels that he is just born in the wrong body and really wants to be a girl, but his parents feel embarrassed by this, and basically he's fighting ghosts over it in his heart. So eventually Picasso gets out of the picture after they get Hishida to tell his story to them, and he runs to school and he gets everyone to come to the riverside where Sugiura has by then found Hishida, and the two are talking, and the entire school then hears from Hishida's own mouth the entire story that he just finished telling Chiaki and Picasso while they were in Hishida's heart, I guess, which is where they go when they hop into the picture, I think. And you slowly see how at first everyone is disturbed by this, and then slowly but surely they begin to realize how awful they've been, and they apologize, and the school even allows Hishida to wear the girl's uniform, and they all treat him much better after that. And I think that also shows how it can go with people with gender identity disorder, or rather, yeah. I don't really think that it's a sickness. It's more just how you look at it. And I think that it's really nice that this manga artist felt that he could address this subject, and he addressed it in this way, which is not something most people would do, and it's not something that you usually find in manga in any way other than as a comedic something, as per One Piece standards. I will now, I only have 3 more minutes, so I will wrap this up real quick. Book 3 has a really amazing piece of art on the front page, and for the first time we see that Picasso actually has blue eyes. On the other 2 manga covers he had gray eyes, which I can't help but wonder if it's maybe an error or not. But getting back to the story, after his last trip into yet again Sugiura's heart, Sugiura finds out that Picasso did that, and that Picasso knows something that only Sugiura and Akane could have known, and he wants to know how. And Picasso, upon urging from Chiaki, begins to explain to his newfound friend that he is rotting, and that he has to, with Chiaki, help people in order to stop the rotting. He pulls Chiaki out of his pocket and shows it to Sugiura, who only sees a piece of paper. He then shows his wrist to show the rotting, after having shown him the pictures he's drawn. And again, all that Sugiura sees is a watch. Sugiura gets angry, feeling violated, feeling that Picasso invaded his privacy, and he tells Picasso that he doesn't want to see him again. And I see that I cannot make it within the 15-minute time limit, so I will leave you here, and I will tell you the conclusion in my next in the next part of my review. And that's where I leave you. Bye bye.